Hi, today we're going to make some paper wreaths, and what you're going to need for this project, for the small wreath that we're going to make, are some old CDs or something else that size, and circle helps, it doesn't have to be a circle. And you need some old books, and I'm using some Reader's Digest condensed books. They have a nice gold edge, and that adds a little bit of interest to the wreath. And these are old and they have a little bit yellowed pages, which I like. You could use a new book or an old book. What you need to do with the book is take off the cover. So take an X-Acto knife, utility knife, and you're going to cut all the way down the front and all the way down the back to separate the cover. You're going to rip that off. You can use that for something else, and what you end up with is just the pages. And then you're going to rip off pages sections at a time, like that. You're going to have a rough edge, and you could cut that off with scissors or a paper cutter. I'm going to leave it for now and just make sure it's on the inside so that it doesn't show on the project. You can make quite a few of these small wreaths with just one, fairly thick book. And I don't use the colored pages. I prefer text pages. So if you want to make one with color, you can, or just use text. So all of these have pictures, and I'm going to recycle those. Okay, you're also going to need some string. You could use twine or fishing line or just regular string to attach here, and so it'll be your holder to hang on the wall. And you also want some hot glue. That's how we attach the paper to the CD. I've also made larger ones with a record that worked well, and just a large piece of cardboard. It helps if it's a circle because it just seems to line up better, but you could just draw a circle on a piece of cardboard as well. Okay, so the first step is to get your tape in a dispenser. You want to be able to use it one-handed. And we're going to make these cones, which are the building blocks of the wreath. And it's pretty easy, you just have to make a lot of them. So I'm going to take my gold edge at the top and my rough edge on the right hand side, and take the top right corner and the opposite corner and fold it in. One corner goes under, one corner goes around, and it makes your cone. And then you're going to put a little piece of tape right back here to hold it in place. And that's how you make a cone. And it took me a while to figure out that process, and to make them all uniform is important. So practice and be patient with yourself. You'll find your way of doing it. So take it around, one corner goes in, one corner goes around. And you want to get it, I try to line up this end of the paper with the point so that I know all my cones are the same size. And you're just going to keep doing that. And this is the large size of cone that these pages will make. In a little bit I'll need some small ones. And so we'll cut the pages in half and do the same thing, but all of the pages won't have the gold edge then. So here we go again. So you're going to make a bunch of those. Hi. So now we have about 50 of both sizes, I would guess, maybe a little bit more. I like to make a lot so that once I fire up my hot glue gun, I'm not wasting it making more of these to finish a wreath. And we have something to protect our tabletop, and I have a length of twine. That's what I'm going to make the hanger out of. So I'm just going to tie a little knot. And then while you're waiting for that to warm up, you can kind of play with the cones and get a feel for how they're going to be. So we're going to hot glue that. I want the clear cleaner side on the back, so this will be covered up. And take some larger ones. You do kind of need some space once you get going, so clear the area. And we're gonna just lay these all the way around so that the points are down. And we'll hot glue, but just kind of gives you an idea of how many will fit. Okay, so it's going to be something like that with a few more filled in. String. So then, the only part that's going to touch the CD is way down here at the bottom. So we just want to glue down there and put it on. Hold it for a second and keep going. And see, all the points are to the back. I've made some where I've alternated the point at the back and the point at the front, so you can play with that. This is just the easy, don't have to think about it pattern. Okay, so I have some empty spots. I want to fill those in before I start the second row. Okay, so there's the base layer, and we could go around again with the larger ones, but this is such a small CD background, I'm going to go with the half-size ones now to fill in the middle. So get some of these out. And now you want to put up the glue higher up because it's going to make contact up here more than down here. Zigzag, and you want to, decide what you want it to look like. Probably going to do one with the points about at this edge all the way around, and then I'll do one even smaller in. And go in the crease of between the cones. Like that. They won't look exactly alike, and that's kind of the point of homemade projects. Okay, 2 layers done, and I'm going to use the small cones again to do probably one more layer all the way around between to fill in the gaps. And you'll find at this point the bottoms of the cones are going to kind of overlap and maybe get in each other's way, but that's okay. We'll probably going to fill that center area in with some kind of decoration. Oh gosh. So don't worry too much about that. You want to put them a little bit lower. I'm not keeping count. I don't know how many I've used. Sorry. Okay, so it's really that easy. We're pretty much done. And I might do a tutorial on how to do rosettes out of paper to do the middle. You could put a silk flower, or at Christmas time I used some pretty ornaments to put in the middle. And now it's stuck to my board. There we go. So there you go. Pretty, huh?